We are not utilizing the ride height control valves. So this ride height control valve right there is no longer being utilized. It's being bypassed, and that manifold right there has 4 extra solenoid valves that'll control each one of the front corner airbags to allow air to enter or leave the airbags in order to level the motorhome. And while some chassis will have 2 ride height control valves in the front with 1 in the rear, this one's set up with 1 in the front and then 2 in the rear, which is very difficult to show you because we are squatted so far down in the back right here. But I can show you. There's a little box right there with a little tag on it. That's one of the level indicators. For the rear indicator, and yes, the rear axles and airbags do have their own set of manifolds for them too. But repairing air suspension and air leveling is one of those jobs that I don't really like to do, and it's also one of those jobs that do get in the gray area between suspension shops, chassis shops, and RV shops that nobody really wants to take responsibility for. But long story short, don't get underneath an RV that has air suspension on it if you don't know if it's been blocked or have jack stands underneath it. It could be the last thing you do. But now I'll go ahead and put this back into travel mode. Then what should hopefully happen over time is that we'll start bleeding out pressure from those airbags right here. You can hear it draining out. And then that gap above the tire is going to close up here shortly. And hopefully it's much easier to see once we are in faster speed time there. And those ride height control valves have raised their back up to a ride height control level. And now you should be able to see this one on the back and the control rod for the other one on the other side. That being said, most of the newer coaches or chassis like this 2022 American Tradition now have independent front suspension instead of a solid front axle. And so they have 2 ride height control valves on the front, and they are electronic instead of being analog. And you'll know it because when you drive down the road, you'll hear a lot of clicking underneath the front step area right there, with air being added or exhausted by the electronic control valves instead of the analog valves, like were more common like on the Roadmaster chassis like that Camelot or the Navigator we were just on. I hope you guys got something out of that because I don't want to repeat it again. I'm filthy.